Today, I'll be going over all of the new information surrounding Beyond Skyrim. Just recently, we had Creation ModCon 2025, which gave us a closer look at a ton of amazing projects. Now, I am working on a separate video which covers every other mod shown during the event, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss when that drops in the near future. But before we dive in, here's a brief overview for those that are new. One of the most famous names in Elder Scrolls modding, Beyond Skyrim is a multi-team collaboration dedicated to expanding Skyrim's world with entire new regions. From the snowy mountains of Cyrodiil to the more alien landscapes of Morrowind, Beyond Skyrim aims to deliver a ton of quests, stories, and fully voiced characters to bring each province to life. The long-term goal is nothing less than making all of Tamriel explorable in Skyrim's engine. This year we got to see a lot more gameplay, which was incredibly exciting, and it all starts with Cyrodiil. 2 centuries since the Oblivion Crisis, the Heartland is still here, but far from its former glory. Visit the cities you remember, and discover places that were once only in legends. This year we got a look at the more scenic side of things, taking you on a quest to recover the estate deed from Lord Drad's manor, which has been overrun by goblins. Before that though, we meet Paco, a canine companion which you can pet, feed, and play with. And yes, feeding him can actually be used as a means of healing him. Paco serves as the travel buddy for this showcase, fighting off against dangerous new creatures like mountain lions and even an ogre. Visually, this side of Cyrodiil stands out for the bright, warm colours of the East Coast, and I've gotta say, it is looking beautiful. The map is briefly shown, giving us a closer look at the type of environments and even certain landmarks that will be making an appearance. Now, I don't want to take apart every little detail, as we'd be here for quite some time, so let's move on to the next region with Beyond Skyrim, Roscrea. Set sail north beyond the dark and frigid Sea of Ghosts to explore the Isle of Roscrea. Embark on an adventure that takes you through dark forests filled with the deceit of old demons, battle the ghosts of legendary warriors, and uncover secrets that slumber deep below the freezing winds of the old archipelago. One of the first things mentioned is how the settlements are beginning to come to life. With new NPCs scattered across the various towns and villages, things are really starting to come together. We can see that a lot of quests for some of the major areas are finished or nearing completion, with the story beginning to take form. Like last year's showcase, Roscrea didn't go for the commentary approach. We get to see another quest in action, showing off new gear like the bronze bow and arrow, as well as a matching sword. The environment here definitely gives off a completely different vibe. It's certainly not as unforgiving as one like Atmora, but it's not exactly welcoming either, with wolves roaming the wilderness and bandits stationed up on the road. And just before it ends, we see the player make their way into the sea, maybe hinting at some underwater exploration for the future. Next up was Valenwood, a region I was especially curious about since it wasn't really shown off in last year's event. This time though, we got a much clearer picture of what's happening in the Bosmer homeland. We're immediately met with a graphic showing the total number of new assets created each year, and they've already matched 2024's total with months still to go. This is especially impressive because Valenwood needs the most new work out of any province. Almost nothing from vanilla Skyrim fits the lore here. On top of that, new creatures are being introduced, from the seemingly friendly species to the much creepier arachnid. There seems to be an original design for this region. But perhaps the biggest reveal here was our very first look at a settlement called Banmar, home to Bosmer and Khajiit alike. It's easy to notice the slightly unusual architecture that makes up their buildings, with bones being a prominent element in fences, bridges, and furniture. Again, some new gear got revealed, with a couple pieces of the Bosmer bone set, a horn mace, and even a stone dagger. So you can start to see how the materials used aren't nearly as advanced as what we're used to seeing in-game. But I really like it honestly. It definitely gives Valenwood its own identity, and ties in neatly with the Green Pact lore. Another standout point shown was a work-in-progress dungeon called the Dead Cat Cavern. Inside it featured your average bandits, equipped with some traditional attire and similar weapons to what was shown earlier. This has quickly become one of the most intriguing regions for me, and I can't wait to see more. Now we have Morrowind, one of the most sought after areas in the entire project, and for good reason. Hire a ship to Morrowind's ashen shores in the New North. Explore the islands of Sheogorath and Bleakrock, weathered and beaten by the centuries. Witness the expansion of House Redoran as they bring civilization once again to the Northern Isles, and delve into Dwemer ruins and Dunmer tombs, guarded by fierce ancient protectors. They open by showing that the final edits for the main quest are done, although the main focus for the showcase was on a side quest with the Imperial Archaeological Society. To get to the given location, they'd first have to travel to the western part of the New North. This is done through Ebonshield Tower, which offers safe transport for travellers. Like Valenwood, we got to see some new life, a bug-like creature known as a Shulk, which comes with its very own animations to make it more unique than the frostbite spider we're all unfortunately familiar with. Not only that, but there are new ingredients and even a custom item that explodes on impact, completely wiping out this poor Nyxhound. Additionally, a pretty unsettling Daedra enemy makes an appearance with the Vermike, which seems to be a sort of redesigned troll. Throughout the preview, it's really emphasized just how far Morrowind has come. Not only are the writers and editors moving on to things outside the main story, like with new world encounters, but all of the dungeons are confirmed to be playable, with the goal now being to further improve them and the surrounding landscape. The final portion of gameplay takes you into one of these dungeons, called Vars, which is packed with necromancers. It gives off quite the eerie vibe, accompanied by some interesting level design. Having never played Morrowind myself, I can't exactly comment on how true this stays to the original, but I am curious as to what you all think about this one at home. Last but not least, we have Iliac Bay. In my opinion, this was the most engaging of them all. It even featured multiplayer gameplay thanks to the Skyrim Together mod, which I didn't even know would be compatible until making this video. This was the core of their showcase, either 2 or 4 players battling it out in dungeons, or showing off various parts of the world through a game of hide and seek. Using this, we can take a look at 2 locations. The first was a dark and goblin-infested sewers that sit below the Yokudan city of Eno Herna. Inside, we meet the capitalist humanoid underground dweller, or simply Chud for short. They're a vendor of sorts, with the most notable item shown being a unique treasure map that is only found there. Next was focused on the exterior of the city, which has been seemingly abandoned. Rubble is scattered everywhere you go, although it does contain its fair share of secrets. And that's about it. Day 2 of Creation ModCon did feature a Beyond Skyrim walkabout, which was a longer sort of Q&A as they explore a couple regions that weren't shown previously, like Elsewhere and Argonia. I won't be going over these today, but I highly recommend giving it a watch on their channel. I'll be leaving a link to it in the description down below. I also wanted to apologise for my lack of uploads, but this will be the start of much more frequent content, so once again, make sure you're subscribed for all of the latest Skyrim modding news. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.